So I think basically several of our folks worked in pieces on this particular work. So Swap has worked on it, Jairam has worked on it, and then Sai has taken it up from there, and then he has finished it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So so for a moment, Sai, you can just stop sharing your screen. Okay, and let me just okay. So see, web has a very, it has its own idiosyncrasies, so to say. Okay, it has its own way of dealing with it, right? So for example, let's assume let's say there is a shop, right? So somebody comes to your shop, right? And the person really wants let's say a specific type of jeans, for example. Okay, and the person comes to your shop 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, okay, to look at the same thing, and maybe there is a budget issue, right? And you know, the person says, oh, I don't have enough money, so we'll come back later. And then he or she comes back about you know, let's say 15 days later, looks at the same thing, right? And you know, so things like that might happen, especially, you know, younger folks, right? They do that, right? So in cases like that, you will easily be able to sort of know that, hey, this person really wants this particular product, whatever that is, right? So this is one such example. But on the web, you can trace the person, but you have to see it in terms of the number of hits that particular product gets, or the time the person spends, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is just you know, one example. I'll give you one other example. Okay, let's say if you you know, there is a company, right, that has advertised, okay, a big advertising campaign, okay, and there are you know, simultaneously, let's assume for the moment that Jagadish and Shravan, are you guys seeing any advertisements in the recent past on YouTube? Anything that is repeatedly occurring on YouTube?
Yeah, repeatedly means every ad that I see is a repeated ad for sure.
Which one? Which one?
Normally, every ad will be repeated. Like for example, if any ad that I see today, on this day, I'm definitely sure that I'll see it at least 4 to 5 times if I stay on YouTube.
I'm asking which one. You don't want to reveal it?
So for me, it will be more of a this data camp courses and all. So data science courses, all these sort of courses. So they'll keep posting ads, and so these sort of ads will be majority.
Got it. Got it. Anyone else where you have repeated advertisements?
For me, it's Zomato and Swiggy.
Zomato and Swiggy. Okay, that's good. How about you, Sai?
I get Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
For me, it's Lysias.
Lysias. Okay. You are, you know, we know what it is. All right. Okay, good. So, Jairam, how about you?
Netflix and Zomato.
Netflix and Zomato. Okay. So it so happens, just for your information, I want to tell you, there is one sort of spectacles shop that has opened up. It's a chain. I think you guys can easily relate to what it is. So they have opened nearby. Okay, I think they seem to be targeting certain geography around us. Okay, and they'll keep on bombarding such kind of advertisements almost on a daily basis. So whatever I'm trying to research or whatever, even for entertainment, if I'm looking at something, their advertisement comes up. Okay. Apart from that, I think the Swiggy guys, Zomato, not Swiggy actually so much, but Zomato. Zomato is like, you know, I never sort of associated delivery with Zomato for whatever reason, but they keep on advertising. But see, if you look at it, say let's take a chain, like let's say, for example, you know, Big Bazaar or any of the, you know, sort of grocery stores, whatever, right? Let's say if they had a big campaign in the geography and they had targeted some TV ads, some radio ads, newspaper ads, right? And maybe online ads and so on and so forth. So at the end of it, it is very difficult. So let's say looking at the advertisement, right? Some, let's say 1,000 people have come, okay? Just looking at the advertisement to their chain, okay? Now the question is, how did these guys come? Where did they see this ad? Okay, and why are they convinced? Let's say we have, let's say 4 or 5 different advertisements that we have put up. Which advertisements did these people see and come to our store? Right? You cannot answer many of these questions, specifically if it is online. If it is, if it is offline, okay, TV, radio, right? This kind of ads. But one difference that happens in online is that you can know exactly which ad they had visited. Okay, why does it mean? What do I mean by exactly which ad? See, the advertisements that you guys are actually watching, right, on YouTube, or for that matter, any other web page or anywhere else on your mobile or on your desktop. These are all online advertisements, or for that matter, on TV also. If you have the, if you turn on the YouTube app, right, or maybe Netflix, whatever else, right? So all of those can be tracked. Okay, to the extent that many of these platforms, they do what is called an A/B testing. Okay, they can do multivariate testing also, but they do what is called an A/B testing. So what is an A/B testing? So there will be, let's say they're trying to check out, let's say they have 2 different models, okay, who appear on the channel. Okay, they can actually say, okay, we will keep everything else in the advertisement exactly same, okay, but we will put these 2 different models, okay, to see which of these models are able to, let's say, get more trust, for example. I'm just you're taking it, or it can also be, so it can also be, let's say, one elderly person versus one middle-aged person. Okay, 2 different models. Okay, which of these resonate to a specific audience, for example, right? Another example could be, it's the same model, but there are 2 different copies of the text. Okay, hey, come. So just so you know, so there is recently one advertisement that somebody talked about. So one person said, okay, so this is like they get the first 3 months free, okay, of a specific SaaS software, okay, and they said one of the advertisement was 3 months free. Okay, please come enroll right now. Okay, there is another advertisement that says pause your payments for 3 months. Right? It's a different value proposition. So given the whole pandemic, they're saying you pause the payment on your other software that you're using for 3 months, which seems like a good deal if you're, let's say, a restaurant who is like very hard hit with the pandemic, and you're saying I don't have to pay for 3 months, okay, and maybe I can import all the data and all of that very quickly through a tool, and I can run my show for 3 months. That's a great deal, because what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to stop payments for 3 months, okay, so that they can not have to deal with the payments issue, right? They have to pay their team members, and so many other things are there, and there is no revenue. This is what they're trying to do, right? Now you want to evaluate these 2 options. What they can do is they can actually run the exact same copy with these, so same model and everything else same, but these are like 2 different copies. Okay, when I say copy, I mean it's the text that is written on the advertisement. Okay, and then you can check which of these 2 is resonating with your target audience. Okay, and you can go to a very granular level, and we do these experiments all the time. Okay, in Perceptive, so we run different campaigns. We basically check which of these, several of the copies is working fine, and see which has a sort of better performance. Okay, in online you can do all of these things, but in offline, for example, you sent out all the let's say pamphlets, okay, newspaper pamphlets, right? And they're out there, and they have some people who have come in. You have no idea what has worked, okay? You just get the people, and when you get the people, you think, okay, something worked here, something clicked, right? And you're thinking, okay, you feel good. Or if none worked, you know that nothing has worked. But if something has worked, or a few things have worked, or a few things have not worked, you have no idea, and you're still spending a lot on the things that did not work as well. Okay, so there are various factors that are there in an online campaign that can potentially sort of help understand what's going on. And what we have done right now is, so there are various angles to the online analytics piece. Okay, when you say online, there are several factors. Okay, so I'll just brief out just a few of them, but I'll then quickly tell you what is it that we are focusing on. Okay, so if you take let's say a newspaper, for example. So our Jairam has worked on a sort of media company. They run like several newspapers, right? So one of the things that they are dealing with is, I think a couple of these. So Jairam, can you just name one of the campaigns which has got to do with how are people reading my marketing material? Okay, can you just mention that?
Maybe just sending mails, marketing mail, click rate, open rate, all those.
Correct. Yes. Okay. So there are two things. One is the marketing emails that they send, and the other one is the newsletter analytics. Okay. So typically, if you subscribe to an online newspaper, then what they do is they tell you, hey, please like subscribe to these newsletters so that we will email them to you, and then we'll figure out what you're sort of reading and all of that, and based on that, hopefully they'll improve it and so on and so forth. Okay. But also, see, there is a lot of traffic. See, what is newspaper? But they have there is news and there is advertisements. Okay, and they typically get a lot more views through the revenue through the advertisements. Okay, these days, so there is a subscription revenue. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you have subscribed, you pay, let's say, 300 rupees for a newspaper that comes to your house, right? A small portion of it is actually going to the newspaper. I think probably if you pay 300 rupees, probably about, let's say, 200 rupees, maybe 250 rupees goes to the newspaper. Okay. In India, actually, it is heavily subsidized. We'll get to that a little later. That's not important right now. But they get majority of the revenue through the advertisements. Okay. Online also, they get the revenue through advertisements, and advertising revenue has been crashing over time, especially for display. It has been crashing over a period of time. So you get advertisement when your page loads. Okay, and your page loads in the following manner. One, newspaper, they typically just come to the home page and check out what the news is today. This is one way they get revenue. The second, the views, they get views. The second way they get it is through search. Okay, search is, I think, roughly maybe about 40 to even 60% of their revenue, their page views come through Google and other channels. Okay, so this is called organic traffic. So organic traffic is the first channel. The second channel is the newsletters. Okay, and the third one that they get is through subscriptions and so on and so forth. This is sort of broadly how it works. Okay, the first piece that I was trying to get at is the organic piece of it. So what is getting adequate traction? What topic should we write more on? Are we getting adequate traffic or not? Do we have, newspaper is a lot of articles, right? So they have a lot of text and so on. So are we getting adequate, let's say, Google, Yahoo, Bing traffic or not? If we are not getting, Why are we not getting? Can we rank high enough? This is what is called search engine optimization and related analytics. Okay, this is one piece. Okay, so the second is, you can say, the newsletter, marketing, emails, traffic analysis, and so on and so forth. That is something our Jairam had worked on. The third piece is advertising. Okay, so for example, let's say e-commerce, right? So these days, there is one specific e-commerce site that most of us basically go and sort of buy on. So there are others. For example, there is Myntra, there is Nykaa, there are a few others. Let's take Nykaa. I was talking to an intern in the recent past, and she had worked on a project sort of related to this. Okay, but the point is that, let's say they advertise. The intern's project was not focused on advertising, so I'm not revealing anything from that conversation, but I'm just saying that, let's say they advertise a lot. Okay, in fact, Nykaa, I see once in a while, I see their advertisements as well. Okay, I don't know why they advertise, because they mostly sell cosmetics and stuff like that for some reason. I think so they think they can advertise to me, or maybe there is a mistake or something like that, but they advertise. So once they advertise, can they figure out? So see, right now what's going on, I have no interest whatsoever in many of the products that they carry, but they're advertising to me, so they're spending money on it. Okay, but they don't know yet, because they're continuing to advertise. So if they know that they're wasting their money, they'll stop advertising to people like me. Okay, and maybe they can start advertising to folks like Swap. All right. Okay, so what do you say, Swap?
I don't use any cosmetics.
Just kidding.
I never saw its ad as well.
Okay. Good. So they are trying to figure out where is it that they are spending money, but they're not getting any benefit. Okay, like I mentioned, one thing that differentiates online marketing is that they can trace almost everything. Okay, they can trace who did they advertise to. In fact, they can choose who they can advertise to. For a newspaper, can they choose who they can advertise to? No, right? So it has to be, okay, we'll give you this much space, and it goes to everybody. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's say, so Jagadish is a target for, let's say, some of the online courses and so on. He only mentioned that. Okay, he didn't say all the other ones that he's getting advertised. All right, so we don't know what else he's getting advertised on, but all right.
The majority is that rest all also I get.
It's okay. All right, but they so there are so basically you can track. What all can you track? You can track who you are advertising to, the age group and so on, the gender. You can track what else? You can track which geography, right? They can include or exclude your geography. Okay, so for example, we sort of live on the sort of outskirts. Jagadish, Shravan and I live on the sort of outskirts of Hyderabad, western side. Some people might want to include, some people might want to exclude, right? So they can include, let's say, Charminar area, where they can target a specific group, right? Or they can sort of, maybe there is a let's say Balanagar, and so on and so forth. Every geography you will be able to sort of target. What else can you target? You can target by income also. You can target. Okay, so you can say, okay, top 20%, bottom 20%, medium, whatever, so whatever you want to include, you can include. You don't want to include, you can exclude them. Okay, this is how it works. Let me just quickly check. So we can also check if you have interest in a specific topic, you can include that. Okay, or you have interest in a specific topic, you can be excluded also. Okay, an example of this would be, let's take the same Nykaa example, right? So someone is searching for, let's say, lipstick, for example. Okay, so you can potentially include people who are searching for lipstick. So if I am searching for lipstick, certain color I want to buy, okay, for example, But many people might actually be checking for, people would be checking for, hey, how to apply it, what are the shades they want to, so there are a lot of these how to, right? So they might be checking for that kind of a thing. If they're checking for that kind of a thing, maybe we know they have interest, but I'm not so sure if they're looking to purchase at this point in time. Okay, if you're looking to purchase, so for example, the same thing, another thing. So I'll give you a specific example. Let's say, so let's say there are these softwares, right? So there are many softwares. Let's say there are content management softwares, okay? Like for example, WordPress and so on and so forth. And there are also a lot of paid ones these days, okay? Like Wix is there. For example, there's another one, let's say there's a Shopify and so on and so forth, okay? So if you're looking for a free software, okay, so we'll say content management system or online shop software, okay, free is a very different tool when compared to online software for, let's say, professionals, for example, okay? Something that reflects that, okay, this person, is maybe has used many of the other softwares, okay, but did not like it, okay? But now the person wants to upgrade to something where certain things like spam and other stuff are automatically taken care of, or maybe there is more security and so on and so forth. So these two are different searches. And so they want to find out, where the person wants to pay versus where the person wants free, because free is not what they're looking for, right? Free is not where they want to spend, let us say $10, $20, trying to woo that particular customer. Are you guys getting what I'm saying, right? So they might want to drive that traffic maybe to their website so that maybe they'll consider in future, but they don't want to pay such amount of money to get that traffic at this point in time. So depending on your intent also, you can pay for it and so on and so forth, okay? And also the other piece that I want to talk about is the following, which is that, let's say you get specific customer, let's say you advertised, okay, the person came, the person looks at your website, and now the person did not purchase. Okay, you advertised to 100 people, which means 100 into 10, let's say $1,000 you have spent, right, which is a big money, right? Now the person wants, now only of the 1,000 people, only 20 people purchased. Now you're thinking, looking at, see, can I advertise to 980 people and pay for 980 clicks while I get 20 purchases, okay? And depending on the product. So for example, take the data analytics course kind of a product, okay? What is the incremental cost that they incur to serve a new customer? Can anybody say?
Acquisition cost, which is what we talked about.
Acquisition cost is one cost that you pay. What are the other costs?
There could be other costs which are incurred further down the chain. For example, take something such as DataCamp. They have instructors who prepare that content, right, on data analytics and some other subjects. So I would guess these instructors would be paid for by DataCamp for the hours that they have contributed. So this could be one of the other cost components.
Correct. So that could be a cost component. So the data instructor, so when they make the content, right? If they, let's say, I don't know if they have it or not, for let's say, if they have a, thing like, okay, you can join in a specific, let's say, webinar, okay, where you can get your questions answered, okay? So, but that is still not on a per incremental basis. It is still fixed cost in a way, right? So this, the webinar still will happen and they will still have to pay for the time and so on and so forth, right? But the thing is, for software and for courses like this, the incremental cost is almost zero. There is no incremental cost. You guys are getting it? There's no incremental cost. But as opposed to that, take something like a mouse, okay? We order this mouse and this mouse comes to us, right? So how much is the incremental cost that they will incur. I think it is probably about 70%, something like that, or 80% depending on the product. Okay, maybe the retailer gets only 20%, something like that. They don't get any more than, let's say, max 30%, something like that. On luxurious product, they get much more. So essentially, we are paying for the product and the advertising and all, so on and so forth. So let's come back to this. So when the person comes to your page, okay, you don't know how they are behaving on your site. Okay, what you will know is that you can say, okay, the person has come to this particular page. Then what did the person do? Which pages did the person go to? Okay, and after that, which pages did the person go to? For example, they searched for, let's say, the mouse that we just talked about, right? So they came to the product page, and then they went to reviews, and then they checked out how the reviews were. Okay, and they probably also had a question, so they went to Q&A section of it, and then checked out maybe some other pieces, and then they found out a related product, and they went to the related product. Okay, and then they checked out that particular thing, and then maybe they finally abandoned the whole thing, they closed it, and they sort of moved on, or they purchased this product or the related product, etc. So you can figure that out. Okay, in addition to that, there is one more angle, which is on that page, what did they do? Okay, they went to the top, they scrolled down, they found out, let's say, related products, or they went to this. So they'll be able to find out pieces like this. Okay, so this is one of the online analytics pieces. So what we are going to demo to you at this point. So sorry for a very, very long introduction of sorts, but I think you need to know all of this to appreciate what that piece that we did. Without that, you'll not be able to understand it. So otherwise, it will just seem like there are some filters, there is this we did, that we did, and so on and so forth. Okay, that is not what it is. Okay, so I have tried to put you guys into the shoes of the customer who spends a lot of money. They spend 30% of their revenue advertising, and they are trying to figure out how it is working or not working. Okay, and for them, this is like, oh my God, so this is the kind of thing. So anyway, so let's go into it right now. So Sai, you can now share your screen, and then we will go over it. And I will also very quickly just request a remote control, so that you can I can move the mouse and so on. Okay, so let me, okay, all right, thank you. So let's look at this. Let me just give you a quick overview of this. So this is one dashboard, okay, and this is also you can view everything in one single screen. Okay, you don't have, all the other tabs are not very, they all marry into this, and they all show here. Okay, and what you see here is basically you have some stuff on the top. You have all the clicks, conversions, and so on and so forth. We'll come to that. Okay, and at the majority of what you see here is basically if certain traffic has come to your website, okay, to a specific website, how does that traffic behave, and how much in terms of numbers, what does it mean? Okay, this is what we have dealt with. Okay, we have not dealt with all the other pieces. Okay, we have not dealt with the organic piece. We have not dealt with let's say what happens when the person comes onto a specific page. How does the person behave on that particular page? We have not dealt with that. We have dealt with one specific thing: advertising traffic. When it comes to a specific website, how does the person behave after that? Where does the person go? Not on the page, but various pages. And how do we analyze the traffic that is from an standpoint? How do you slice and dice the data so that you can then understand which traffic is working for you, which advertising traffic is not working for you, where are we getting the maximum amount of bang for the buck or the return on investment, and where are we losing the money so that we can cut it down or somehow alter it so that it will start working better for you. Okay, so this is what we have done. Okay, so all right, let's look at this. So if you look at it, so this is what the data sort of looks like. Okay, so on the leftmost sort of a piece that you have here is basically you have traffic. This is the source of the traffic. Okay, so you see Instagram, Google, Facebook, and Bing. Okay, these are the 4 where this particular company is advertising. Okay, you can also see, for example, if you sort of mouse over Google, you will be able to see, you know, what all are they advertising on. So you can basically see watches, how much are they advertising, sports shoes, mobile phones. It's a big category these days, right? You have the luggage set, a little bit less or a lot less, lawnmower, laptops, fragrances, electric iron, desks, and so on and so forth. Okay, right? There's also Bluetooth headphones and so on. So this is what they have been advertising on. Okay, and then you can see for each of those. So when you mouse over like this, actually you can mouse over like this as well, and then see, we'll come to the tooltips a little later. You can also see, hey, where did the traffic go, right? You can actually, you know, some part of it goes to add to cart. So some goes into, you know, watching reviews, some goes into recommended products, right? And then you have what is called a comparison, right? So sometimes you go to a product, there are like several competing products, and for those competing products, you can actually see a comparison. So this is the comparison that we're talking about. You can also see where the traffic is coming from and where does it go after that. Okay, this is also very critical, right? And then, so from add to cart, so you actually go to the payment, or it can potentially also go to cart abandoned. Okay, cart abandoned is not something we really like. Cart abandoned means mattilo posina paal or panneeru, whatever that is, right? It means that you have actually, that has gone into a waste. Okay, it has not worked, or for some reason the person did not buy. Okay, so from add to cart, these guys are very lucky. A lot of people have actually gone into payment. Okay, and then they paid, which means that it's sort of over. So from reviews also you could potentially go to add to cart and then go to payment, or you can also abandon the cart, right? So and so on and so forth. I hope you got a sense of how the traffic is being analyzed, right? The movement of the traffic is what we are looking at.
Chaitanya, sorry to interfere, but I need to drop off now.
Oh, is it 10 o'clock already?
Oh, it's almost 10.
Okay, you carry on, Swap. I'll talk to you later. Okay, but you already made this, so you have a good idea of this already, I guess. Okay, so we'll anyway close by 10, right? We'll not go beyond that. Okay, so so let's look at we have all right. I think you got a sense of what is here, guys.
Yes, Chaitanya.
Yeah. Okay. So let me look at. Okay, so this is one piece of it. So basically, it will tell you how the traffic is moving from place to place, and so you know how you can deal with it. So let me look at a specific thing. Let's say you go to Instagram, for example, and let's see, you know, how the data looks like. So you can see here, click share is 25%, add to cart is about 31%. Okay, conversion is about 25%. Number of conversions is 1,265, and so on and so forth. You can also see cost per click right here. Okay, so now let's look at Facebook, right? You can see here, when compared to that, see, add to cart is 32%, Facebook conversion is 26%. It is sort of very similar to Instagram. All right, so let's look at Bing, how this is. Okay, the numbers are looking very similar. Okay, so add to cart 32%, conversion is 25%, and so on. Let's look at if Google is different. Google is also looking very similar. Okay, but in many cases, if you look at this, so you have number of conversions is 1,265. So here about 1,300 and so on and so forth. But many times what happens is the add to cart will be very different. Conversions will also be very different from what we have started off with. Okay, so spend is sort of looking around 25,000 is what we are able to see. So that is what we are seeing there. But in many cases the cost, the spend will also be very different. Okay, it will not be same, because let's say for example Google is driven by how many searches are happening. Okay, but Instagram on the other hand is driven largely by the interest levels. Okay, Instagram I'm seeing is one of the places where so for things like let's say cooking or sort of decorations, things like that, which are all very visually driven, there's a lot of interest and people are able to see conversion. So some time ago I had seen close case where somebody who is a person who focuses on cooking, she has advertised on it, and someone I know had subscribed to that, and there was a webinar and so on and so forth. So I think we had discussed that some time ago in one of our calls. So so stuff like that. So let me now just click on one of these, which is sort of Instagram, right? Okay, now what's happening here is you are able to just drill down only into Instagram and then figure out exactly how things are moving. Okay, and you can also move over mobile phones and then figure out what's going on. There's a conversion rate of 10%, bounce rate of 33%, and so on and so forth. Okay, and sort of it comes to reviews, what's going on here. Obviously it's all coming from Instagram, and then sort of it goes to add to cart and so on and so forth. Okay, what it also does is you can actually filter in terms of how many clicks, conversions, campaign, the cost, what's the cost per click, cost per conversion, and so on and so forth. All of that will come here. Average position will not, because that is more Google specific, and so it will not show for Instagram. Okay, and at the same time you can actually check out. Okay, you can see everyone, or you can also see, for example, so let's look at only the ones that got converted. Okay, so and you can just click on the ones that got converted and then see how that behavior is. And you can also click on not converted. Okay, and then see how are the folks who have not converted, how are they behaving. Okay, and where are they going to, right? So for example, you can see here that you look at the number of people who have abandoned the cart. So this is one specific case. For example, they are coming from Instagram, right? Going to mobile phones, they come here, right? And then they go to reviews. Okay, and from reviews there is nobody who has gone to add to cart or to payment. Can you guys see this? Right, look at how many folks who have come to these reviews, they have just never converted. So, and a good chunk of them are actually coming from mobile phones, as you can see. Okay, so these are the sort of kind of insights that you can actually glean from it. Okay, these are all not converted. Okay, obviously so we are looking at not converted, but you can actually see where they are coming from. If you just okay, the other thing you could check is you can also check by return on investment. Okay, let's say on an average, okay, you're seeing that let's say typically you get if you spend, let's say $100, let's say the gross merchandise value or the amount of product that you are able to sell is $500 typically. Let's assume for the time being. Okay, so you spend $100, you are able to sell $500 worth of product. Okay, so in that case it sort of maybe works out okay. I don't know, it depends on industry to industry, but you can actually check out, hey, where is it working out very well for me? Okay, so for example, let's say I spend $100, but I'm getting, let's say, $800 worth of product sold. Okay, what does it mean? It means that, okay, we have certain competitive advantage in the marketplace, that they quickly search, and when they search, or on Instagram, we are able to spend, and they quickly come to us and they buy. Okay, which means that the customer is convinced that we have what it takes. Okay, so they are able to buy from us. Okay, but on the other hand, there could also be very low ROI, which means, let's say we are spending $100, okay, and we are able to sell only $120 worth of product. So we are making big amount of loss on this particular product, so because if you sell $120 worth of product, right, maybe $100 of it is only product cost, okay, and $20 margin or the profit that we are getting, and we are actually incurring $80 of loss on it. Okay, so you can actually take, okay, bottom 80% of the ROI. Okay, or you can also probably even specify, we'll give that facility as well. We can say, okay, give me bottom 30% of the ROI, and that will tell you all the products on which you are making loss. See how much of value add does it give. In an instant, it will tell you where is it, which products are we losing money, okay, or which product are we we have very high ROI. If you have very high ROI, possibly you can increase the prices there, because people are very easily convinced. Or it is also possible that we are actually making a loss eventually on the product. Okay, so for example, from an advertising standpoint, we are seeing that we are making ROI, but from a net profit standpoint, we might actually be losing, because see, the same mouse which sells for maybe 700 rupees on a website, right, we are selling it for 500 rupees only. So advertising standpoint, we are making ROI, high ROI, but net we are losing money. Getting what I'm saying? So that is also possible. So there are all these various types of analysis that is possible. Okay. So let me just go back here. I'll just select all and just very quickly tell you what are the various other parameters that you can potentially. Hey, 1 second. Sorry, I did something wrong. So Sai, can you just take control and go back? Okay, great, awesome, perfect. So yeah, thank you. So similarly, you can also check gross merchandise value, right? Low cost items, how are they selling? High cost items, how are they selling? Cost per click, where am I spending very high amounts of cost per click, and how is that returning, in terms of the value, right? Campaign cost, totally how much have I spent on it? Okay, there are places where I'm spending like thousands of dollars, and there are places where I'm spending only hundreds of dollars. How is it? How are these various, campaigns, products, right? Platforms, how are they performing for us? You can also look for search string, right? So for example, are searching for free products, but I'm still advertising on it apparently. So how do I get rid of all those campaigns? Okay, so that I don't spend on it. Or so people are spending for, let's say, mouse, let's say USB mouse they are spending for, but I'm advertising for a wireless mouse. Or I'm spending for, I'm advertising for a wireless mouse, but they have actually searched for a USB mouse, and so on and so forth, where there is incompatibility and we are still spending on it. If we are spending on it, it means that it is useless spending for that particular product, right? So you can do all this kind of analysis and then optimize your spending in such a way that you don't have to advertise for these, and then you just go ahead and advertise for what is paying, okay, what is working for us. Similarly, advertising on a sort of a device type. Okay, there are, see, your behavior on a mobile is very different from your behavior on a desktop, right? I don't know if you guys understand or you have experienced that. So for example, if you, let's say, on mobile, so you can just look for it. If it is not very quickly you will abandon it, right? You will not sort of persevere. But at the same time, it is also possible that you want to quickly get to it. That is also very possible, right? Let's say you're trying to do some research for quite a while and it has not worked out for you, right? Now you come to, let's say, either Amazon or you come to Google and search for it, and then you found out something and say, oh, I want to close this. I don't want to spend any more time on it. I just want to complete this transaction and close it. And then you might eventually sort of buy it. So there are both types of behaviors that are possible on mobile. Okay, but on desktop, typically you are a little more research oriented. You have a little bit more time, right? It is not like you're trying to search your mobile when you are sitting in an Uber or something like that. These days you're not sitting in an Uber anyways, right? That's a different thing. But when you are on the move, you're not doing it. You are at your desk, you have a little bit more time. Okay, this is a very different behavior when compared to behavior on mobile, and which app completely takes it onto a different tangent altogether. Okay, so you have traffic type, you have abundance payments. You can actually drill down to all of these and be able to analyze your traffic in such a way that you can get to small pieces that are working. You can actually look at the overview. You can slice and dice it in any possible way. This is what the dashboard enables. Okay, what it also does is, in fact, you do have a certain type of analysis on many other platforms as well, but they're all platform centric. Okay, here we are giving a way for them to analyze this on all of the various platforms at one go, giving this is more like this is equally a CXO CMO dashboard as much as it is equally an analyst dashboard. This is one of the distinctive features of this particular dashboard, that anyone in the the hierarchy in the marketing department will be able to make use of it and understand it and take decisions based off of this. Okay, so we are over 10 at this point, so we can get to certain other pieces. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and shoot. Guys, shoot, guys, folks. Okay, did it make some sense?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Silence is a very grave thing. We don't know what happened. It is like advertising on radio or on TV.
No, actually, it's a great piece of visualization, like the analysis that can be drilled down from it, just as you explained. It's I really didn't think through like how a Sankey can. Sankey has this much potential, but yeah, a lot of analysis has been made enabled through this sort of visualization.
Okay, cool. So Jagdish, in your project also we can potentially use this, right? So at that time
For
we
marketing.
can show it to them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's-
potentially there's a possibility here. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.